Checking if everything is good to go.
Checking if everything is
Nope.
good to go.
Nope, don't want to hear myself through the playback. Okay, what is up guys? The Strong Boys 19 here. Welcome to the first live stream by my own choice of streaming once every 2 months for this year. And just as I was about to go live, annoyingly, my rule was from YouTube, well, on my mobile, to rotate to the way it looks. And annoyingly, everything's facing the wrong way around, which is even more annoying, but, you know, I just can't be bothered. So I apologize that everything is going to be seen completely the wrong way around. Potato Rice, if you're still here, I've just seen your comments less than 5 minutes ago. Midnight Social, you're just turning up. YouTube is buffering loads for me today, so hoping this stream works okay. Is it buffering at your end, Midnight Social? I hope it's not from me. But nevertheless, I hope you are doing well. So my stream isn't buffering, but it's buffering where you're at, internet connection wise. Okay, Potato Rice, it isn't buffering, that's good. Hope you guys are doing very well. I am inside my music room for the time being because, you know, why not? Normally I would be in my bedroom with lots of the CDs behind me. So I thought I might as well change it up once again to show you guys the stuff I've bought from soon to be the last month, which was February. I was originally going to be doing this tomorrow, but I am not free because I am going to be going to the gym. Which leads me now to ask you guys, I hope you guys are doing very well with yourselves. If you guys haven't seen my post on my channel's community section page, outside of YouTube, I have been very active with my weight loss. I've been going to the gym twice in a week, so this will be my 4th time. I am doing really, really well. One of the goals I had was to take a long break from alcohol and to be, you know, perfectly well and improve my my weight loss progression. I'm still at 12 stone. I know it's not that big for a lot of people, but I think 12 stone is too much. I just want to get rid of the belly. So far, I have burned over 1,000 or close to 1,500 calories. So it's going really nicely. I've been listening to music that I wanted to listen to at the gym, like I've been listening to some Fear Factory, DJ Shadow, and what else have I been listening to? I have been listening to Rammstein as well. Potato Rice, well done. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So that's what I've been doing, as well as to improve my mental health. From my last update video, before this one, obviously, I did say that this year's off to a great start, and it's continuing forward. I am planning to be working harder than ever, not only through the exercising and with my return back to meditation. I am also focusing really hard on the music I've been creating, as well as with other plans that will be continuing. I am going to continue to make videos. The next album review I'm going to be doing is for Fear Factory's Archetype next. Then I'm going to be answering the questions from commenters who have decided to answer the question of albums that are overrated to you, and I will respond. I know that video has been up since more than a month, and I need to answer that amount of comments from the video. Let's get started with the update. I'm going to show you guys the stuff I've bought for my Korn collection. I am really glad that I've been coming back to collecting stuff for one of my top 5 favourite bands of all time. Let's go over to Korn right now. The first one is the box set of the Untitled album, which I am one of those people who defends this album. It's not known as one of their strongest albums. Not many Korn fans would really look into this type of era for Korn successfully in terms of like favoritism. KC, you haven't missed much. You just come in at the right time as I'm about to show you guys albums and other stuff I've purchased from this month. This is the really cool looking box set. It contains the CD of the album itself, as well as with the artwork, and I believe a bonus CD of bonus tracks. I haven't actually looked at this all the way through. This contains the bonus track of Sing Sorrow. Midnight Social, I'll get to your comment in a minute. Hope that's all right. Yes, this contains the bonus DVD, exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, and hundreds of Korn photos. Nice. Pictures of half the band, Monkey, Fieldy, and Jonathan. I really like this artwork. The booklet, obviously, with the lyrics inside, and it contains the poster, which I will show right now. But what's really nice about this poster is you can put it up either with the colours being black and white or the coloured look of it. So here's one side, and here's the other side. Oh, yeah. So I'm really glad that I did pick this up, because the Untitled album has always been one of those that not many Korn fans would appreciate at the time and to this very day. So I am still going to review Korn's discography. I will get to take a look in the mirror really soon. I've reviewed Untouchables recently, but I am going to be reviewing this album in a pretty positive matter. So, really nice box set. I have also picked up the Japanese CD version of Life is Peachy, which is my favourite Korn album. I am going to open this up. I really like the idea of having these separate CD sleeves to protect them. Here is the Japanese obi strip right there. Hope the audio and quality is good where you are at, guys. It comes with a Japanese booklet with the lyrics, and I believe some pictures. No, lyrics and Japanese text, which I really like. Life is Peachy is always my favourite Korn album, pretty much ever since when I got into the band. I'm just pleased that I have gotten back into reviewing Korn's discography. I know I did review the debut and Life is Peachy more than a couple of years ago. I reviewed Follow the Leader last year, and I've just reviewed Untouchables. Speaking of Untouchables, I'll put the sleeve back inside after the stream. Here is the Japanese version of the album. It contains, obviously, the Here to Stay T-Rays mix. Despite that, this CD packaging sleeve is not really protecting the CD overall, the obi strip. The CD is in really good condition. The rest of the CD is like just your standard normal looking CD. Japanese booklets, again same things with Japanese lyrics, along with the English lyrics at a darker colour this time. I bought these on eBay, by the way, so I was pleased to have this one just as much. I'm one of those big Korn fans that really likes pretty much a lot of the later era of Korn's work. Some albums are better than others. This is another digipack. It's the deluxe limited edition of See You on the Other Side. I really like the way they present this. So you can see the text, and it contains the second disc, 3 unreleased studio tracks, and 2 remixes of the hit single Twisted Transistor. The packaging is really, really nice. So you get the look, and I love the overall fold-out design of this. Comes with this little bit of artwork, as well as the code that was available for Korn's membership. The booklets inside. I haven't listened to this album for a very long time in full. First disc, second disc. Great packaging. I actually like this album, and it was one of those later Korn albums that was produced and involved with Atticus Ross from 9 Inch Nails. Same goes with the Untitled album. And the Korn album I've bought on vinyl is Life is Peachy, with the beautiful Company of Music on vinyl. This is the 2015 remaster. Absolutely awesome. Potato Rice, that's your favourite Korn album as well. That's really cool. I'll go to your comment now, Midnight Social. I apologise that you have been waiting for more than a few minutes. I found it really hard to find Korn Untitled. Took a while, but ended up with the slightly bigger box CD like yours. That's really nice. Glad to hear that. The next items of stuff. I have been a fan of not only the first Joker film, but I did a film review on Joker Folie à Deux. So I was in a bit of a very addicted phase that I randomly did decide to purchase from eBay these Korean released CineQ special tickets when the screening of Joker Folie à Deux was going to happen. So here's one with Joaquin Phoenix. There's the artwork of that picture of Lady Gaga and Phoenix. They just look really cool together. And here is Lady Gaga with the other different artwork. So if you guys haven't seen my film review on Joker Folie à Deux, my opinions, let's just say, will not be completely expected. Yeah. Anyways, I thought I'd pick those up because this was, along with the first Joker film when that came out, the sequel made me think about it intensely. KC, does the second Joker film fit in nicely with the first? Haven't seen it yet. It's known for many people as one of the worst films of 2024. But I think it does fit in for the whole purpose of the character that Joaquin Phoenix played. The first two Joker films, well, obviously there are only two. The two Joker films are mainly focused on the person, Arthur Fleck, not just to think of it as like a usual Joker film. Todd Phillips did create those two films in his own way. That is nothing like what a lot of people will be expecting when it came to Joker Folie à Deux. If you want to see Joker Folie à Deux, I will say that it may surprise you or it may disappoint you. But if you want to see my review that's up on my channel, I would say watch it first and you can check out the review that I did. It's close to 48 minutes long. So I guess that's my my advice. But obviously you can take it for what you will, as Joker Folie à Deux, I think, is growing to be like a cult following sequel. The next two items are for my other collection. Now that I have shown some stuff for my Korn collection, I've picked up these two Blu-rays for my Black Sabbath collection. The first one is The End, which was recorded and released, and it was at the time the very last, I almost said first, the very last Black Sabbath gig. I mean, this will be the first time for me to watch this concert in full. And the other one is Gathered in Their Masses, which was made, I think, in, yes, 2013, with the same lineup, with Ozzy, Tony and Geezer, and their touring drummer Tommy on the drums. Haven't watched this one in full yet either. So I am planning to watch both of these concerts separately in honor to celebrate Black Sabbath's legacy on a high, considering that I have been one of those thousands of people who have been victimized by Ticketmaster's bullshit. But at the same time, I thought about it, and I'm actually glad that I would like to remember Black Sabbath for gigs like these. You're going to Ozzy's last show at Villa Park? No, I am not, KC. I made a video about my final thoughts with this charity reunion Villa Park gig, if you want to check it out. And you also said You'll check out my review out before I watch it. Actually, Casey, watch the film first because I have said pretty much a lot of the plot, so I don't want to spoil it for you when you watch my review before you watch the film. Um, Midnight Social doesn't sound like Ozzy will be doing much at it anyway. I agree, Midnight Social. So I think this gig for Black Sabbath will not be like your usual watching experience when it comes to a Black Sabbath gig. It's going to be like a celebration. The last pieces for a separate collection that I'm building is for my favorite film of all time. Yeah, I do love to collect. My favorite film of all time, for those of you who don't know what film is my number one, it is The Silence of the Lambs. I've decided to pick up this incredible and yet now crazy high priced Arrow Video 4K limited edition box set. Despite that I do not have a 4K Ultra HD player, I think this is just too good to not purchase. You know, I wanted this pretty much when I saw the advertisement from Arrow Video. You know, why not just pick it up? It's got, you know, a ton of bonus features. Silence of the Lambs is a good pick, Greg. You have good taste. Cheers. By the way, this is like unexpected to say, but I'm not sure if I know these people who know my name. Since you guys know my name, I don't know who you are really, like internet user wise, but I'm surprised. That's my favorite horror / thriller as well. Films age brilliantly to this day and all. I agree, Casey. Did you watch the recent movie Longlegs? It has some Silence of the Lambs and Seven vibes. It's really funny because I've rewatched Seven recently and I love that film. I haven't bought Longlegs. Some people hate it, but I've heard it is pretty over the top. And yet it has Nicolas Cage in it. But anyways, let's get back to this. The packaging is really, really cool. It contains this large poster of the artwork. If you want to see the full stuff that has been presented previously through other people, check it out for yourselves. But The Silence of the Lambs is always my favorite film of all time because I think it's because that I've never seen any film that would be so atmospheric yet intense and twisted. I know there are films from that era of film history and maybe today or previously that can be more brutal than this, but this is brutal in a different way. I think Silence of the Lambs is my favorite film because it was the only one film that blew me away pretty much since the very first time I watched it. I did not expect it. I wanted to know the power of incredible filmmaking through its performances, cinematography, and the overall direction. A film can really take me into like its big experience, and that's what this film is. Loads of films would do that, but Silence of the Lambs is always my number one. I randomly decided to pick up the Criterion Collection DVD, mainly because of I love the look of the front cover. You know, I look at this packaging and I thought, you know, why not? I played the DVD and it was successful. Cool looking disc right there. Little booklet of pretty much the chapters and you know, information back there with the cast and other people who made the film, and a long I think review, I think, yeah, by Amy from The Village Voice right there. Would you ever consider reviewing a Kid Cudi album? I'm not really into music in that way, so I apologize. It's not that I really dislike Kid Cudi. It's not the type of music that I would be interested in enough to review. Midnight Social. Only Know Your First Name. I think it was from Hard Graft Posts. I realised after I said it earlier, it might have come across as weird. No, it's not weird. Also, the guys who said my actual name, it's not weird at all. It's just that it's that weird reaction that I got immediately. It's like, you know my first name, but I don't know if I know you. But you may know me like on social media or maybe in person. But in person, let me know. KC, it's a one-of-a-kind film, and I never knew your name was Greg. Stumbled upon your channel 2 to 3 weeks ago now. That's cool, KC. Is he the bloke who sung Day and Night? What do you mean, KC? I don't understand that. No offense. The next item is a sealed oh, Kid Cudi. No comment, KC. I don't listen to Kid Cudi. The second to last item is my first ever hard box. That's limited to 1,000. I think 1,000 worldwide, from a company called 84 Entertainment. It's the German hard box of the film. My number is 73, and it is, I think, yeah, it says it here, 3-disc limited collector's edition. The only thing is, you know, since it's sealed, I guess it will ruin its authenticity. And I'm sure the discs would look pretty cool, but I bet it would be the artwork of maybe the artwork of this and this. Possibly, but I like to keep it that way. The last item, well, almost last, is the promotional pin of the moth. You can't really see that. I'm trying to get that in focus. Sorry, guys. I'm not really sure how you do this. Nah, I apologize, but it was beautiful, and still is beautiful to look at. There you go, I think. Octavane, good to see you. Let's see, put that back in. Yeah. Would you definitely recommend Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats if you haven't listened already, in the vein of Sabbath? I would say so. I would like to check them out. I know that Devin Townsend, who I adore immensely, I I believe became involved with Uncle Acid and Deadbeats at one point. That pin's cool. Yes, it is. And the last item for my Silence of the Lambs collection so far, I cannot believe I picked this up. It was not expensive, but I was blown away. Not that I have a player of this particular version of watching the film, but I have bought the Japanese pressing of The Silence of the Lambs on Laserdisc. I'm really sorry everything's like flipped the wrong way round, guys. It's pissed me off right as soon as this whole thing went live. As you can see, some more tiny pictures and a few other films have been pressed to Laserdisc, like the first two RoboCop films and the bridge on the River Kwai. I'll show you how huge this is. That's an out of context sentence, I know. I'm not taking it out, but that's what it looks like. Absolutely huge. Video is fine, man. Stop worrying. I appreciate that, Midnight Social, because I have this tendency lately that I want to, improve my my own self-esteem, to not grow the anxiety over like the simplest of things. But anyways, I'm really, really happy to have this for the collection. The second to last piece for my update video is for my Slipknot collection, and it is a t-shirt of this lineup, brand new, less than a year for now, continued lineup with Eloy Casagrande as Slipknot's new drummer. The lineup of Slipknot of today. Absolutely sick. I love this shirt. There's the back. I have a flag of pretty much the same look of the band members. Would you like to see it? But it's in my bedroom, hanging out along with the other posters. Deaton, yes, that is a big disc. Potato Rice, what's my favourite Slipknot song? Before I Forget is my favourite Slipknot song. Guitar with James, what are the current most popular metal bands in your opinion? Generally, in terms of like from the word of mouth attention and through loads of people, is that what you're asking? Current most popular metal band? Well, I guess I'll have to go with everybody else's comments. They would say that Sleep Token are growing to be like one of the most popular metal bands. Same with Spirit Box. Been listening to a lot of Nail Bomb this past month. Love Nail Bomb, mate. It might just be perfect, but not struggling to find. I think it's to find all albums before you just deleted your comment. No, Point Blank is the only album that they have made. I'm going to check the battery. Yes. Point Blank is the only studio album they've created, and they've made one live album. What's really cool is that both the Caballero brothers of Max and Igor have played live together in their current tour as Caballero. It's a great sight to see. Um, I have seen Max Cavalera live when Soulfly were playing in Birmingham, and it was in promotion for the Totem album when that came out a few years ago, and it was just so energetic. Really, really happy that I did see one of my heroes in metal. Sorry, that should say struggling to find similar albums. No worries, Midnight Social. So I think that Max Cavalera is not only one of my favorite metal musicians of all time, but Nailbomb is always my favorite side project band. I would like to get into some more of the industrial metal era. I obviously have heard of Godflesh, another band from Birmingham, UK. I have heard their album, I think it was called Street Cleaner, very raw sounding. And Justin is one of the members who used to be in Napalm Death in the very early days. Does Max still only play with 3 strings on his guitar? I think it's 3 or 4 strings, but yes, he still does. He's more of a rhythm guitar player than lead. But it just always reminds me of like Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones, who would play, write and record with 5 strings, because a lot of Stones tracks are in open G tuning, which is a really nice tuning actually, because I used to cover a lot of Rolling Stones songs through my experience of just being a covers musician. Um, Midnight Social, speaking of Hardgraft, I have made quite an update in my music room. So there's a bit of a change up. You can see the Hardgraft poster up there. There's that Ian Brown actual signed picture. I need to find the certificate of authenticity, because that is an actual signed item. I was trying to think of a different word for that. So you can see the Hardgraft poster behind me that's framed. There's the Ian Brown canvas, and the Union Jack. I've also moved my drum kit to face this way instead of facing that way. Mapex drum kit. Here is, you can see most of it, the artwork of Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. And I'm planning to, hopefully move some stuff around for the music room. Very cool, man. I would love a man cave like that. So, since I have shown the Black Sabbath, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath flag, I might as well would like to show you my Slipknot flag that's hanging out. There you go. There it is. You can see it. Eloy Casagrandes at the top. You can see V-Man, Alessandro, the bassist, there next to him. There's Michael, who's been with the band since the We Are Not Your Kind era. And this unknown member, whose name hopefully is going to be revealed. I bet his name will be revealed whenever the new Slipknot material is coming out. But as of right now, Slipknot are not making material like consistently. Well, I bet they have actually, but they like to keep everything so mysterious, and their mystique identities, like the whole point of Slipknot's history. And I think it's cool that they have decided to, keep it that way. And with the whole lineup being in like this incredible fruition of having Eloy on board and the new lineup, I think Slipknot are moving forward into, in my opinion, a really, really productive, positive amount of work. So that makes me happy, because I would definitely like to hear what Slipknot are going to present to us. Besides that, Clown had said that it's not a Slipknot album, and I bet he means that from the material that was called as "Look Outside Your Window," because obviously it wasn't a Slipknot arrangement of material at the time, but that was in the making while the band at the time in the classic lineup were making All Hope Is Gone. And it can be heard if you watch some little snippets of some of the band playing that kind of music. If you watch the DVD making of All Hope Is Gone, I think it was Sean Clown Cran on drums, Paul Gray on bass, Jim Root on guitar. I believe so. I think so. I may have also heard that Sid was involved, but I could be wrong. Every time they release a new album, they always seem to say it will be as heavy as Iowa. I think that type of comment, Midnight Social, is what many Slipknot fans will be saying instead of Slipknot themselves. And Korn are releasing a new album, and I think it was Head that described it as like gonna be the heaviest Korn record yet. But if that's what Slipknot said, then I don't think so. I think they would say that to hide what the music actually sounds like, because they are not repeating themselves to make an album like Iowa ever again. They have changed a lot. We know that. But since the material from We Are Not Your Kind and onwards, they're totally different albums. And yet it started since Volume 3, where they have experienced maturity and the overall growth to adapt as expansive and, even more prolific writers. Snow Cone 26. Clown should release his 1997-98 footage of the band. 1997, that was when Corey Taylor joined Slipknot, and then Anders decided to leave the band around that time, towards the end of that year. And 1998 was the year that the lineup at the time was signed to Roadrunner Records before, I think it's before Jim Root, yes, I think before Jim Root came along, while um, Josh Brainard was still in the band. I believe as well that Greg Cuddles Welts was there when they signed the contracts before he left the band. Um, so Chris wasn't involved with them at the moment they were signed. This whole thing makes me think about my potential video of the very early era of Slipknot, from the formation to the Mayfield Kill Repeat era and stuff around that era, which I am still planning to make that type of video. Midnight Social, last few Korn albums have been great. Yeah, I really have liked The Nothing a lot more than Requiem. The Serenity of Suffering, excuse me, was very, very good as well. But I don't care about Requiem as much. I thought it was not a very good Korn album. It just lacked quite drastically, which is very unfortunate for me to say that. I was surprised that it did get positive reviews when it came out. But at the same time, like, obviously, if people love it, great. But I'm one of those Korn fans who were disappointed with it. Sorry, guys. Change of lighting happened. But I don't think I would listen to Requiem a lot ever again. Well, actually, I didn't listen to Requiem in full after like the second listen or third. I think it's the second listen. Yeah, that just showed that I don't really think it was one of my favorite Korn albums. It had some good moments, but along with Take a Look in the Mirror, Requiem is really forgettable. Jake and Ryan Rupray, good to see you guys. Long time no see to you, Ryan. Yes, I am doing very well. Glad to see you. I have been feeling a lot better in myself outside of YouTube for my mental health, and I've returned back to meditating occasionally, as well as with my ambition to, be healthier and being burning off a lot of calories. Deftones is releasing new music this year. Yes, I know. I'm really looking forward to that. Greetings and salutations, peeps. May your music listenings carry you throughout the year, and always believe in the power of the music and only music, as well as to think about yourselves, as you can always enjoy the time that you have, and know that you do have a purpose of being around with self-belief for yourself, and always be true to yourself. I do like to be in this some kind of philosophical mindset, as I would look back from that, and it helps me. What are you doing to be more healthy apart from gym stuff? I would go for walks. I have been eating healthily. Lately, I've been looking at various food packages and products to look at calories. I've been cutting away from chocolate a lot. Besides taking a long break from alcohol, I went into this choice that I would eat food that's like over 100 or close to 100 calories. I would eat carrots to apples, either green or red apples to bananas. So simple stuff. trying out different vegan foods. It's really annoying that, most vegan food of today had been um, including this overkill of spice flavor. That's that um, extra pinch of it. You don't need to spice everything. Great to hear from you, man. Cheers, Dayton. I've been looking forward to your first stream of the year, and I'm stoked to hear you're doing well. I do appreciate it. I've been back in my studio working on new music at the piano. Brilliant. I'm getting into drum machines and was wondering if you had any advice for music creation. I'm not the expert really to think about what offers to different pieces of technology in the digital world that I would say. Um, what type of music creation? What type of creation? Because I'm a musician than an expert of music technology. I tried to look into this whole different route of being in this world of how gear works through computers to be like a producer or a mixer, but I am just more of a musician. I just like to make noise. I like to make sounds that I can experiment and play along with them. Respect my authority. Welcome back. Good to see you. I'm going to see Black Sabbath on their farewell gig in July. That's awesome. You are very lucky. But I will say it's not a Black Sabbath gig as you would normally expect. Loads of updates happened along the way through the new bill of bands and with the reports on Ozzy. But I really hope you will have a great time. Be there in the moment, celebrate the legacy of Black Sabbath. Potato Rice, what's your opinion on Megadeth? I am a fan of Megadeth. They are one of my favourite big four bands. I would definitely like to listen to Megadeth over Slayer and Anthrax. Metallica is my favourite big four band. Midnight Social, did you hear about Melvin's and Napalm Death split LP they are releasing? Yes, I saw that as I follow both of them through my rateyourmusic.com account. Deaton, yeah, I hear you, man. There is such a difference between jamming with your friends and making music that way versus going into the realm of songwriting. I'm primarily writing ambient swells and shoegaze. I love ambient and shoegaze. Very distinctive genres that are not for everybody, but they have their charms. Dayton again, but I'm having trouble writing transitions and beat changes. Beat changes, as in like you would add like a drum fill or to hear a variety of drum beats. Is that what you're saying, Deaton? A rhythm changes. Yeah, absolutely. See your long comment again. Jamming with your friends and making music that way versus going into the realm of songwriting. I'm primarily writing ambient swells and shoegaze. I think songwriting can work either by yourself or with your friends. And if you are open to sharing your ideas to your mates, then they would have their own ideas. But I guess I think for rhythm changes, I would say that if you have an idea of a rhythm that works for you, um, I would say go for it. But the way I would do it is, you know, if a beat comes up in your head, like you make something up on the spot, if you like the sound of a beat through changes of rhythm, then use that idea. Um, but another way I would do it, if I would make music all on my own, is that I would listen to my influences. Like, since you mentioned shoegaze, I assume that some of your favorite bands are like with Slowdive and My Bloody Valentine. Obvious picks, I know, but um, I think if you want to create music around that shoegaze sound, obviously it's not an easy thing to create because, you know, shoegaze is full of this wall of sound, this big amount of noise and texture. But for rhythm, I think you would listen to your influences and think about how their beats are performed in their simplicity. Not a lot of shoegaze has a lot of changes because it's focused on simplicity. And I think that's a beautiful part about shoegaze. It's quite a complex tone to nail, especially for guitar. If you are trying to come up with this distorted wail through that sound with tons of delay, but not so extreme usage of delay, and with some reverb. Well, I guess for beats, I would listen to other drummers and maybe come up with a hook that would maybe fit in what you're creating. Most of the stuff that I've been creating appear through random improvisation. Like if I come up with a riff for metal music that I've been writing, I would use this phone, film it, just a short clip of a riff or two, or maybe an early version of potentially a full song. Use that idea and look back at the footage like a few days later or the day after, or look back from your recording and see if it's good enough for you. Same with the drums. The drums, since you mentioned it, I think with drum machines, maybe experiment with like a fill that you like the sound of, or a beat that you like the sound of, and change it completely to fit in the style of music. Have you ever heard of Navity and Black 1 and 2 albums? They are excellent tribute slash cover songs of Sabbath classics. I actually haven't Midnight Social. I don't mind covers albums, but it depends. I'm sure there are a lot of great Sabbath covers from other bands, not just with Zach Sabbath. Like, I appreciate Zach Wild a lot. Zach Sabbath is a cool idea. But if I would hear a different cover of Black Sabbath, I would be more than likely to hear how other people would do it. Zach Wild is a great shredder, but a criticism I have with him is, you know, he he is amazing at what he does, but it it's it's in his own way than how Tony Iommi would normally, decide to come up with solos. That's not a obviously like an attack and a diss on him. That's just my opinion. Sometimes over shredding can be, really predictable. And I'm a guitar player who likes variety through simplicity and some shredding, to have a balance. Deaton, I hope what I've said to you is like kind of helpful. While I'm here, guys, I'm gonna just improvise on some music once again in this sort of like drony tone, if that's okay with you guys. Oh shit! Excuse me. C. So I hope that advice is something very useful. Yeah, it absolutely is. Okay, great. Right. I don't know how this, random, I guess, ambient improvisation is going to go, but, let's see. In tune. The strings have been an absolute pain in the ass. I've restrung them recently and they have not been behaving. If I hear crackles, I'll just deal with it. Hope you guys can hear that. Don't want to overpower though. C sharp starts to sound amazing after 3.5 hours. I love that too. I love that key. I can hear it and it sounds beautiful. I tend to do that kind of thing quite a lot. Yeah, it's okay to just let the music do the talking and see where it goes if you play this kind of music. I think I put the feedback a bit too much. Brian Eno is my biggest influence when it comes to ambient music. Same here. I adore Brian Eno. I've seen that he posted another lengthy ambient composition. Forgot what it's called, but I'll have to check it out. Have you had a chance to check out its latest documentary? No, I haven't. I forgot what it's called. Could you let me know, Deaton? Is it good? By the way, I put the reverse effect on my Boss Digital Delay DD7 pedal. Thursday Afternoon. Yes, I love that album, Ryan. It's one of my most favourite Eno albums in his later discography. Every night, okay. You're reading a book and it sets the mood. Oh, it's just simply called Eno. Duh. There's an element of random generation like his ambient albums, so nobody sees the same documentary twice. Right. I'll have to check it out. Bear with me if I want to just let the music speak to me, but I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat. If you like Thursday Afternoon, check out Music for the Marble Palace. I think the full album is available here on YouTube. Okay. Cheers for that, Deaton. Ryan, the thing is, whenever I listen to Eno, I feel safe listening to his music, whether it's with Cluster, Harold Budd, Robert Fripp, and other people he's collaborated with over the years. I love Robert Fripp. The Fripp and Eno albums are just spectacular. Evening Star is my favourite out of the brief discography that they've made together. For some reason, the crackling makes me think of like a campfire. I'm surprised I'm not put off by it. Normally, if that happens, I would have just turned it off and start again. At times, an album like Ambient 4, Apollo, Atmospheres and Soundtracks, Ambient 1 and Ambient 2, Neroli puts me at ease when I want to chill out. Neroli was quite a grower album for me, but I prefer his composition of, I think it's called New Space Music on the, I think the re-release of that album, Neroli. Apollo is a great collaborative album with Brian, his brother Roger, and Daniel Lanois. But Ambient 1 is my favourite ambient album of all time. Also, I do recommend Structures from Silence by Steve Roach. That is another one of my most favourite albums in the genre. It's like, I guess, progressive electronic. Excuse me. But it's really like an ambient sounding album as well. Midnight Social, do you use Spotify or are you a physical media only type of guy when it comes to music? When I'll be working out in the gym, I use Spotify. But I'm always a physical copy person at home for my collection. Fripp wasn't there, but I went to the Beat tour. Nice. I love a lot of that Beat album. In Louisville, Kentucky last year, it was King Crimson playing a lot of their famous works with Adrian Belew, Tony Levin, and Steve Vai on lead. That's fucking great. I love Tony Levin, Steve Vai as well. What a great lineup. It was really cool that I first knew when Vai used to play with Zappa. You love New Space music. It's a beautifully made song. It is. I haven't listened to that for a long time for now. Danny Carey, yes. He is like a wild animal on the drums. I agree, Deaton. Like Danny Carey, you know, as you say, like what the fuck? Danny Carey's my favourite drummer of all time. Right up there with, yes, Abe Cunningham from Deftones and John Stainer of Helmet. That's unexpected. Helmet are an incredibly underrated alternative metal band. Turn that feedback down a bit. Put more reverb. First three Helmet albums are incredible. Meantime is my favourite Helmet album, though I think Strap It On and Betty are masterpieces. Meantime is very strong, and Betty is excellent. I have only listened to those two Helmet albums so far, Ryan. That's the actual truth. But that'll change now that I'm going to dive into some of the albums, if not maybe all of them. Sounds like a glitch. I've also heard Quicksand, Rollins band with Fugazi in the past. Quicksand, that's Sergio's band he was a part of before and after Deftones. Fugazi, I've heard many great things about that one. Also, I love the ambient piece you're playing. It's definitely so much better than the last attempt I've tried. It was not a mess, but it was something like so I would say like raw. It wasn't meant to be perfected in any way. Neither does this one, but I think it's better. What's your opinion on Seether? I am a pretty big fan of Seether. They're one of those very first bands that I fell in love with since I was a teenager. I still admire pretty much the early Seether. The new album from last year was very, very good. Disclaimer 2 is still one of my favourite albums of all time. Forgot to turn that completely down. There's only one mistake on my part. Disclaimer 2 is my favourite Seether album, though I quite like Karma and Effect. Yeah, I think that's a very, very good album as well. I hope this music, by the way, is good enough for other guys who are still tuned in. I paused because I had to check the state of the chat by scrolling up. Yeah, I think something's like gone staticky. Possibly when I tune turn the volume controls, or maybe it's a bit of a glitchy cable. What was the last song you learned on guitar? Well, Hardgraft have now decided to stay as an established covers band, but the last song I've learned is, I think, Shoot a Thrill by AC/DC. Speaking of hard graph, guys, I have decided to move the metal originality that I have to a new band I'm forming, so that Hardgraft will be staying as the covers band act. Not gigging yet, but it will be, occasional this time. Through the circuits of venues to possible bike festivals. Excuse me. Ryan, I am more of a Chevelle fan, as Chevelle's music has elements of Tool, a band that they frequently got compared to over the years. I might have heard of them before. But from what I've heard about that band, I thought they're pretty good. God damn it. Mistake again. Wonder what's next is my favourite Chevelle album, and every song on the album is wild. I haven't listened to them enough to share comments with that band, Ryan. I apologise. What type of metal are you looking to play in your new band? Midnight Social says. Have you got other members yet? No, I haven't. I'm still in this new chapter where I will be finding musicians online. So new faces will be hopefully arriving along the way sometime. And it depends if other people would be, that's interested enough. The type of metal I'm looking for the new band, sound-wise, it's with different influences like Deftones, Black Sabbath, in terms of riffs, but for like some change of rhythm and complexity, Strapping Young Lad and Fear Factory. KC, now going, mate, and hopefully I can catch your next stream. Good night, all. Night, KC. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Ryan, Fear Factory are a good band. Demanufacture is my favourite Fear Factory album. Fear Factory are one of my top 10 favourite bands of all time. I love that band very much. The Manufacture is, yes, their best album. But my favourite, it used to be Digimortal, but my favourite is Obsolete. Potato Rice, what's your top 5 bands? I'm planning a list of my top 25 favourite bands of all time. Hopefully I will make the video very soon. Besides, I've got other videos to do. And as well as I am really interested in making different lists videos. And I want that to be active more than ever now. Instead of like album reviews and less lists, I have made like loads of videos of lists. But for album reviews, you know, I've been very active around that pretty much since when I started out, and learned things along the way as a reviewer. No. Potato Rice and Ryan, you're looking forward to it. That's great. Mistake number 3. Always turn the volume down. Hope you guys are enjoying this so far. I know I've said that more than a few minutes ago, but I just thought, you know, have some background to, you know, not make it less, well, not awkward, but less just too silent. Dayton, is it important to have you mean a constant practice schedule with bandmates? Like, do you try to hold a weekly schedule of practice, Tuesdays and Thursdays? How do you schedule your practice sessions? I think in order to practice in general as a musician, you have to stick with it, because obviously practice makes perfect. If you do plan to make a scheduled rehearsal or a songwriting session, it is important to come up with this determination that you want something to work out. You know, some musicians do it for fun, but in the reality of being a musician, you do need to be thinking to yourself that you are taking this very seriously. So I would say it is important to be very consistent with it and have a constant way of thinking, of making plans to know that if you like doing what you're doing, not only you will enjoy it, being the best part about it, always, but if you're really focused on that work ethic, it's like any other job that you have to keep going. If it makes you happy, then you will always be inspired. the way I schedule my practice sessions or just rehearsals in general, I would organise a rehearsal with Hardgraft, the covers band. Sometimes it doesn't work out because of illness or other commitments, which is fine, but you have to always think to yourself that it's something to be mindful of, that if you want to have a progression of the way you work, you have to keep going at it, working at your own pace. In terms of myself to practice, I would be in the mood to randomly warm up by obviously working the hands, some stretches, not too much. Warm up with the picking hand, down picking and alternate picking, legato, and I would practice whatever it is for like an hour a day. And it's really good for memorizing your parts, and to know what you want to do is really active for your brain to remember what you're developing. I'm just leaving these mistakes in. I don't care. How do you feel about Nico leaving Maiden? I was going to make a video on it. He decides to retire from touring, which for all of the times he worked with Maiden for loads of years, I think it was the right thing to do. And especially with some of the recent clips of him trying to play live, his playing felt different because of the state of his health, especially when he had a stroke. That clearly was a sign of some things that were affecting his ability to play. So what Nico decided to do is, in my opinion, like the right time. And now Maiden are continuing to tour with a different drummer, which fair play to them. I mean, the band's nearly 50 years old. Well, they will be 50 on Christmas Day this year. That's a fact. Can you believe one of the greatest metal bands of all time was formed on Christmas? There we go. I can hear the Robert Fripp influence on this ambient piece. It's amazing. I guess Robert Fripp's an influence, but he is more like an improvised, like a droney type of lead tone. But I appreciate it. I haven't been like a mad guitar player to like, I guess, study how Robert Fripp does his own thing, either with King Crimson or with Eno. No. Man's got chops. I just try. I just like to play through whatever sounds good in my head, and with some notes that just come out of the speaker. I don't know any of these like ambient chords. I just pick up random notes across the fretboard and have like one harmonic note, or just use two notes from like a major or a minor chord, or just use like harmonies. I guess improvisation is always worth it. Improvisation is one of the best parts about being a musician, in reality of becoming who you want to be. He's an amazing guitar player who explored countless genres over the years, from classical to jazz to Eastern European improvisation to gamelan. Is really intriguing. I just appreciate Robert Fripp so much. And King Crimson had been one of my favourite bands of all time. You're killing it, Greg. Thank you so much for the first stream of the year, man. I really look forward to seeing you on these. Cheers, Dayton. I think it's Nathan Neal. I might have pronounced that incorrectly, or I call you Nathan instead of Dayton all the time. But let me know. Bit of an out of tune bit there. No Pussyfooting is one of my top 3 favorite albums. There's something about Fripp's feedback that's haunting. I've always thought side A is chaotic and problematic, while side B was the solution. Interesting, because I love both of those two compositions. I have the original pressing on vinyl, and it is an incredible album. I love listening to it, but Evening Star is, like, to me, my main pick through the collaboration. Excuse me. I've always loved No Pussyfooting, though Evening Star is a masterpiece as well. The Equatorial Stars, I think that's their last album they've made together as a duo. I bought that on vinyl as well. I like it as well. I have a later pressing of Evening Star. No. Would you guys like to hear a bit more of the chorus effect? Because all I had on is the MXR Dynacomp compressor and the microamp pedal on, as well as the digital delay DD7 and the Boss Wazacraft version of the chorus CE2W. I mean, I do love chorus. Would you like to hear a bit more of that? Nathan, this is my controversial take. I've always thought an Index of Metals series hindered Evening Star from being a classic. That's quite controversial. I mean, it is the most unsettling one out of the brief track listing. I like that one very much so. Wind on Water is my favourite song from Evening Star. I think that's the same for me, Ryan. Also, did you know the last track on side 1 of Evening Star is pretty much the same piece of music as Discrete Music from Brian Eno, but pitched differently. Yet Discrete Music came out the same year as Evening Star. And Another Green World by Eno too. I'll add a bit more chorus to wrap this up. Hopefully it won't sound too much. Snow Cone 26. Up late. You mean me or you? There you go. Some more added chorus. Nathan, this was awesome, Greg. I've got to leave now, but thanks again Great to see you in the new year, man. Thank you very much. Glad you enjoy these types of streams, and the rest of you guys are welcome to comment on any of my videos. Ryan, I'm going to go now. I'll catch up with you soon. Take care and keep up with the good videos. Thank you very much, Ryan. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes as well because I think it's pretty late here as well. It's nearly 10 o'clock in the evening. E minor, mostly improvisation. Final chords to wrap up this stream. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It really has been a nice, chilled out, and like a laid back experience. That's what I really enjoy the most about these types of streams. So to recap, for upcoming videos I'm going to be doing the Fear Factory review for their Archetype album. I'm going to review Korn's Take a Look in the Mirror. I am going to do some more list videos. I have some that are coming to the channel that I'm going to be making in the next week. I'm also going to be planning of finally having the moment of the potential content through guitar playing, and as well as with this continued amount of productivity, that's the word, productivity of music I have been developing outside of YouTube, as well as for my weight loss. And I'm just so thankful for anybody who is still sticking around with me through these amounts of times. No matter how many things can affect you, always be thankful that you are a part of being around, and always enjoy the smallest and biggest things that made you be you. And with that being said, guys, that is that for this live stream. Over an hour and a half than what was originally intended for, but it's nearly 2 hours. I just got lost into that improvisation that went on for, some time, but I really enjoyed that. I could have recorded it, but, I would like to go into this type of phase of hanging out, playing guitar, and interacting with you guys. So, Shizazzle, I was about to wrap up, mate. I do apologise. I'm going in a minute, but I'm doing really well. I hope you are as well. Don't apologise for stopping by so late. I hope you were here earlier on before I was about to conclude things. I was showing the stuff that I've bought from my update part of the stream and interact with you guys, improvise on just random ambient guitar improv compositions that just, I let the whole thing flow and just fly freely. So, yeah. Shizazzle, I hope you will arrive for the next stream, which will be coming up at the end of April. But it's always good to see you. I appreciate every single one of you guys for commenting. Thank you to Potato Rice, Midnight Social, KC, Key, NNN, Octavane, and Nathan, Guitar with James, Snowcone 26, and Ryan, Sedition Through Scorns, and Shizazzle. Yeah. Anyways, guys, it's always fun to be hanging out with you guys, and I am planning to do this again, the next stream at the end of April. So if you want to watch the rest of the stream after I end this, Shizazzle, feel free to. Much love to you all. Peace and love. Look after yourselves. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope I do too. Yeah, it'll be always nice to see you, Shizazzle. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next stream.